you get this recorded. You can also use our chat box to ask questions throughout the training as well. The first part of this is going to be the troop dashboard. So this is what you're going to see when you log in on the troop side. I will also go over the service unit side afterwards. So if you don't have any access with service unit, you're welcome to log off at that point, or you can stay on to watch that view. So your troop dashboard, when you log into ABC, you will see something similar to what you see here. The first thing you're going to want to do where it says last updated is click this little refresh icon here, and it will give you the most current view. This way, if there's anybody that's made sales or if there's been any updates to it since the last time you logged in, this will give it a chance to refresh. From here, you will also be able to track your troop's achievements, and this is going to be the troop as a whole. What you should also do is set your guys' troop goals. By going over here where it's got a number, you can enter in whatever that troop has decided is you're going to be your goal for that year and click update. You can change it as often as you need to throughout the course of the program, but this gives something for the girls to see on their side as well for when they are making their sales. The next section is going to show you the breakdown of your program. Everything from your per girl average. If you participated last year with the same troop number, then it's also going to show you last year's numbers compared to this year's numbers. If you're new or if you've have a new number, then it's going to show 0, much like it's showing me for the most part here. So you won't have that comparison. And that's also going to show you how many on hand. This is an important number to keep an eye on because this means that you have or have not transferred cookies to your individual girls. This is what you should have in your inventory at any given time. If you click on details, then it will give you your breakdown of each type of cookie. The next section is going to be your important dates. Some of these are already preloaded by me. Some of them can be preloaded by your service unit, and then you can also add additional dates, and we'll go over how to update dates in your calendar. I do want to apologize. There's going to be a few where it will show like the just-in-time training today shows today and tomorrow. That's incorrect. The system was fighting me a little bit and kept pushing some of the trainings to 2 days instead of 1. So disregard that. I'm trying to fix it. But it will show you all your important dates along with your notes. I will have all of the just-in-time trainings registration links loaded up in here. Right now, I only have the 2 December ones, but by the end of December, I will have the remaining just-in-time training links loaded as well. And then it'll also give you your initial order dates and anything else that you need to know throughout the course of the program. The action items up here is also something to help you track your program. Your initial order created, it shows a date on mine because I was experimenting a little bit, but this will tell you if you have or have not completed your initial order and when it's due by. And you can click on it to go in to do your order. I'll go into more detail on how to do your initial order on Monday evening as well. And then, of course, your recognition orders. The next section is messages. So I've preloaded a couple messages on here. These are, one of them I did as a troop or as a service unit volunteer. The other one is a council volunteer. So that way you can kind of see some of the different messages that you'll be able to get. Again, you'll have your just-in-time training links will also pop up here as a reminder of when they're coming. And then any other information, such as submitting your initial order, which is due on next Friday. Your stats for your troop, your girl participation, and then your financial summary. This gives you a nice, real quick view of everything that you guys have sold, collected, what's been paid to council by ACH, and what is still due to council. And then finally, your different tabs down here will give you your breakdown of your girl responsibility, your cookies sold, and who sold them. Now, right now, you're not going to have any Girl Scouts loaded into your troops. That will happen in January. I only have one on here as a reference, but once they are up, you'll be able to see each of the girls and their orders and so on. Now, scrolling back up to the top, one of the features that you're supposed to have access to, it's called a mimic feature. If you go up to this little person icon up here in the corner and click on it, you'll see mimic user. It's supposed to show you anybody that's below you. So in this case, your troop or your parent volunteers, and you'd be able to click on them and then click mimic. For some reason, oh, actually, I know exactly why. It's not showing me my Girl Scout volunteer because she doesn't have a parent information in the system, so she doesn't have an online portal. If I were to add the online portal information, then her name would pop up here. You'd be able to click on it and then mimic user. And this way you can see exactly what the parent sees. If you have a parent that's struggling, not sure what they're looking at, you can go in and see exactly what they see and walk them through it step by step. All right. So we're just going to go over the next thing I do want to check, or I want you to look through, is the My Troop tab. Here it will show you your goals and online activities. This will be for your troop as a whole. You can enter messages that will go to the troop, much like you saw the messages on your screen. This would be messages that would go to the girls within your troop. And then also you can do individual messages, cheers, and that sort of thing to each individual girl. You can do what your guys' or what the troop decided on their goal. You can put in what the that goal is, like the specifics. They want them to take a trip to San Antonio, or they're wanting to raise funds for a special activity of some sort. You can put all of that information in there as well. Next up is your troop roster. Again, you will not be uploading any of this information. This will all be uploaded by council. So it's very important that you make sure your VTK rosters are current and accurate. You can, however, make changes. So if a Girl Scouts level is incorrect, you can go in and you can update it. This is also where you can select the t-shirt sizes and sock sizes, which we don't have any socks, so that you don't need to worry about, but we do have shirts and sweatshirts. You can also create the parent information. So, you know, if we upload the girl information, but we don't necessarily have parent information, or the parent information is incorrect, this is where you can also add that as well, or update it. The next section is your troop information. I've actually noticed that most of our troops are multi-level troops, which are listed as group. If that is incorrect, if you are strictly one level, or if you're listed as one level, but you're actually multi-level, you can update that selection here as well. These options will be automatically uploaded by council when I put your information into the system. And then please go through and update your banking information as well. This will help to verify that the ACH that we have is correct, because sometimes if you don't have checks and you just wrote it in, we could have misread a number. So this helps to verify what we have is correct. And then your information. Please make sure everything is accurate. If there is an issue, please contact council so that we can update it. And then if you do have an alternate email that you would like to use, or if you have a second person that is not already listed, you can add that one here. Your next section is going to be the troop messages. So, and actually these next 3 sections are going to be your messages and ways of communicating using the ABC system. The manage messages, if you click on add new message, this is where you'll be able to type in, let's see, what, start date. You put in what that message is. And for you at the troop level, you only have the option to do it for the girls. You can set the priority, high, medium, or low. And if you want to have a remove date, so if it's, say, the end of the program and you're talking about when all the money is due, you can have it set, or in this case, it's the start date. So we want it, this is the 19th is the start date. So we say, we'll have it removed on the 20th. The system will automatically take that message off of your screen. And then if you want to just save a bunch of messages, but not necessarily send them, you can click it no. If you want the message to go right away, you'd click yes, save. And then when that Girl Scout parent logs in, they'll see that message. The next one is the tasks, and this is where you'll see it on your calendar. Same kind of concept. You put in you fill in your information. They do have some tiers on here if you want to go with one of those, or you can leave it clicked as none. Your priority, due date, is it a troop level or girl level, or both? The description, notes, and then when you click save, it will show up on your calendar. So this is a great way to help keep parents in the loop on booths that you guys reserve, as well as due date for money, pick up for cookies, any of that kind of stuff you can put into there. And also your important dates. These are going to be the ones that are uploaded by council. And again, ABC was not cooperating with me, so it does show 2 days and it's only supposed to be 1. But these are the ones that are already uploaded by council or service unit. The other sections up here, I'm just going to briefly cover because we're going to have just-in-time trainings that will go into more detail. But I do just want to cover them real quick. The orders tab is going to be where you do everything in the system, from your initial order, planned orders, transfers, anything and everything will be through this orders tab. You will also be able to schedule your booths, view your reservations. We are also going to have a credit card option this year. I do not have all the specifics for that yet, which is why I don't have it in your manuals yet. I will have a training in January that will cover all of the credit card information that you need to know if you choose to participate in that. As you can see, there's no booths loaded at the moment, but you can do all sorts of searching from dates, times, zip codes. It'll tell you if it's a premium booth or not. And this is where you'll be able to schedule your booths, both during our limited pick as well as our unlimited picks as well. Your rewards, you will not need to do anything with your rewards until March. And that's when you will go in and create your orders and then verify and submit them as well. Your finances is going to be another important tab for you. You will not need to upload any information in the troop transactions. That will all be done at council level. But you will be able to at least follow along and see what has already been entered. The girl transactions is where you're going to be doing the majority of your information. And again, we'll have a training on that specifically. The other topic I did want to cover real quick is your reports tab. If your troop participated last year, even if you were not the cookie person, you will also have access to the archived reports. In this case, you can see it goes back to 2016. Ideally, you only really need last year's. You click on next, you'll be able to see all the different reports that you have available. If you want to know what your troop did for its initial order last year, you can do troop initial order, go to your report. You can change any of the settings if you need to, view report, and in this case, I didn't have an initial order, so it's not going to show me a report. Let me pull up one that it will show. We'll do total sales summary. All right, view that report. And this will give me the total sales or anything that was attributed to that troop last year. And then of course, you'll also have your current reports, which right now is not going to have hardly anything because we haven't started our program. But as you are progressing, you can pull up your girl information, your online girl report once the program begins, and any additional information as far as your initial order. Let's see, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that you would need early. The troop on hand inventory is going to be another report that will be very important throughout the course of the program. And I do recommend that you go through the reports and list some. You can have up to 10 favorites, and find troop on hand inventory would be one of the ones that I would recommend adding to your favorites, along with, where'd it go? Finance. Your troop balance summary and your girl balance summary. Those 3 reports specifically, I recommend as your favorites. There will be some others that you may want as well. Let's see, cookies, we'll just go over kind of what cookies we have, which you already know more, but if the girls are interested in more information or you want more information, they have the breakdown of those cookies, some tips and tools, and then the resources tab. As I had mentioned in my trainings earlier, you don't have to have a login to access the resources tab, but if you are logged in, you'll be able to see additional items as well. Your parents can even access these now without their login by going to abcsmartcookie.com and clicking on the resources tab. You'll notice that in your training guides, a lot of my screenshots have actually come from the Smart Cookies training. They have been working to update it, so there's a lot of new trainings on there as well. So if there's something that you're not quite grasping, you can check through there. A lot of my trainings are going to be very similar to theirs, just council specific, but it's a great way for you to get additional information either before or after my trainings. The digital art will have all of the various logos for the Fox. It'll even have, if you go up to their YouTube and Flickr channels, they also have information for the thanks a lot's going away so that you guys can pull all that information. And then the printables, anything from thermometers, recommended booth checklists, lots and lots of stuff that you can use to promote your cookie program with your girls. And that is all that I have on the troop side. Before we move to service unit, does anybody have any questions or want me to go over any of the things that I showed you today in a little more detail?
Andrea, next Friday is the initial order, right? That's what you
Correct.
told?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I am not going to be in town.
Mm-hmm.
So is there any way that, is there a time limit to place it, or it's just that day?
No, once you have access to the system, you can go in and place the order now. It's just due, Friday is the last day that you can put that order in.
Okay. Friday is the last day. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
yeah.
Because my brother passed away in India, and I'm leaving country on Monday evening.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, no, it just happened unexpectedly, and we are all going. So if I go ahead and place the order now for the initial order checking, that will take care of it. And you said there is one more training on some other day. So what training is that?
So Monday I have, Monday evening is the training specifically on how to do the initial order. But I can also walk you through. It's really simple. If you go into the orders tab.
Yeah, I've done, is it similar to the last year? I've done it previously. Okay.
Yeah, that part hasn't changed.
Okay. Then I can do the initial order because I've done it, and if there's no changes, I can go ahead and place the initial order. And for the rewards, we usually, our troop doesn't participate in the rewards.
The opt-out?
Is there the opt-out form? Is it on the website, or do you have to send it to me?
It will be on the website no later than March 1st. It's not ready yet because I need to update it for this year. But it will be available on the website, and I'll let you guys know when it's ready. But
Okay.
it'll be due at the end of the season.
Okay, so that's fine. So the only thing I have to worry now is like getting with my girls and placing the initial order, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Otherwise, everything else is done.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
there's
Louis has the packets, right? The order forms and all those. Luis
uh
Galindo.
you should, yes. Yes.
Okay. 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 Like the slips and all those things are with
Mm-hmm.
her receipt book
Correct.
and okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick
Yeah.
it up from Luis.
Yeah, as far as all of that part of the system hasn't changed.
Okay.
So that should be very easy for you to follow along with. So
Okay. And you will give us access after today. After this training, you would send us.
you should start receiving your links. I am working to get you guys up as soon as I receive word from the various service unit chairs on who
Okay.
has been approved and stuff like that. So you should be receiving your links over the next several days.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
So only after I receive the link is I can log in and place the order. Correct?
Yes, and if you can email me as well so that I can make sure that I have your email address correct, because sometimes people don't get their links because an email got put in incorrectly. So if you can
Okay.
also send me your email if you haven't, or just send me an email saying that you haven't received it, and I can look and see what's going on.
Okay. Okay. And when should I do that? Before weekend? Because on Monday, if I leave, I don't know. It will be 3 days on air. I don't know whether I'll have access to look into stuff. So
yeah. So especially because of your circumstances, if you can email me after you get off this training, and then I can take a look at it and we can make sure that you are up and going before you leave.
Okay. And can you just give me your email?
Yes. I'm going to type it into chat. Can you see the chat okay?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So give me a second. So that's my email.
Andrea.
It's going to be A
Mullen. Can you do it again? It just went off.
Oh, it's AMULLIN at gsdsw.org.
Okay, so it's AMULLIN at gsdsw.org.
Correct.
Okay, I will send that.
Okay. And then I did see a question come up from Edith. Will troops be able to remove girls? No, you won't. If there's a girl that's not participating that pops up into your ABC roster, please contact info so that we can get them updated and we can get them moved. Once the program begins, there will be no changing between troops. The only girls that can be added are new girls to council or new to Girl Scouts entirely. And yes, the training is being recorded. And as soon as I'm done with the training, I'm going to be sending the recording over to Ileana so that she can get it up onto the website. Depending on what she's got going on this weekend, my hope is that she'll have it up before Monday. But I would say probably Monday at the latest for her to get it online. All right. So does anybody else have any questions on the troop side of the training?
No. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, and you have a safe trip. And if you are only doing the troop portion, you're welcome to log off now. If you are also a service unit person, go ahead and stay on the line, and I'm going to jump over and do the service unit part in just a second.
No, I'm not doing the service unit. Thank you so much, Ms. Andrea.
You have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. You're welcome, Lindsay. All right. Okay. Hi, ladies. So we're going to go ahead and jump over. So up here where you have that mimic user is also switch user. And this is where you will be able to switch between troop, service unit, or even your individual girls. Which one? I want that one. I've got a lot, sorry. So when you jump into your service unit dashboard, this is where you'll also want to, again, click on that refresh icon to make sure it is the most current view. Service units don't have goals, so that's going to be one of the big differences between the service unit and the troop side of the view. But you will be able to see how the troops are doing, or how the service unit is doing as a whole. If it is one that has been established in previous seasons, you'll be able to see some of your information here as well. Under your important dates and action items, this is going to be one of those spots where you'll really want to keep an eye on, especially with the initial orders due next Friday. If you click on the troops with no initial order, this is where it will show you all of your troops that have not placed their order. And you can email them directly from here, or get however you wish to get a hold of them. Excuse me. At the end of the program, you'll also have your recognition orders you'll be able to do the same thing with. Similar to your troop view, it will show you all of your important dates and information. There may be some things that will only show up on the service units versus the troops. For example, the service units, you guys have until Tuesday, the 17th, to submit those orders. So you'll have that date on there, whereas the troops will not see that date. Again, you'll have messages from me, as well as you can put your own messages on there too. And here, for example, I've got the submit troop initial orders due Tuesday, December 17th. And then, of course, your stats this year compared to last year, and the financial summary of the counts of your service unit. And then here you can also see your breakdown. This is also one of those things that you'll want to kind of keep an eye on. If you have noticed a troop that has a lot of on-hand inventory, then you may want to get with them and say, hey, I've noticed you haven't done any transfers. And you can help them to make sure that they are getting cookies moved from one to the other, especially as we get towards the end of the program. We want to see that on-hand inventory dwindling down as much as possible. You can also see if they've placed any goals as well, and how they are doing compared to those goals. All right, I'm going to jump a few for the moment. We're going to go over to my service unit. Click on your service unit info. And again, this is going to be where all of your service unit information will be. Do not worry about the proceed plan. For those service units who qualify, which the majority of you will, I will click, I will use the toggle to include the service unit proceed plan. If it works the way I expect it to work, this way you guys will be able to pull the report of what the service unit should be receiving, and already have a document. Instead of relying on me to get you guys that information, you'll be able to pull it up on your own. Under your, and oh, actually, I want to take another moment. Make sure your address is correct, because the service unit recognitions are going to go to the address that is listed here. So please make sure that this is correct and your contact information is correct. All right. Once you do that, you'll just be able to click update. Your troops, this is where it will show you all of the troops that I've uploaded into the system. I have what I hope is at least all of the troops as of right now. This is troops that have coordinators, as well as troops that do not have coordinators but have active girls from my records. If there are troops that are missing, or for example, if they're brand new, please let me know. Send that information to info so that I can get it updated, because I don't pull regular reports as far as new troops that are in the system. So you'll need to let me know if you have a troop that's missing. You'll also be able to see who is listed for that troop and verify that that information is correct. If it'll work, there we go. By scrolling down. So if you have a troop leader who says they haven't received their, let's see, I just saw somebody pop in. Hi, I don't know, I'm not sure who just hopped in, but we're just going over the service unit side. And if you have any questions, just let me know and I can always back up. But if you have a volunteer that's saying that they haven't received their access email, you can go in and double check that it's even entered correctly. Again, sometimes we make mistakes, put in an E instead of an A, what have you. So make sure that that information is correct. And it'll show you if there's 2 people or not. Under my service unit, again, you'll have your girls. Again, right now there's only the one because she was my test case, but this will show all the girls that are registered to that service unit once I do the upload in January. And you can assist with edits, but at service unit level, I don't anticipate you really needing to do any edits unless you have a troop leader who might be struggling a little bit and you're helping out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did not get to do the troop vision part,
Okay.
which is what I actually was signing on for.
No
But
worries.
I should still get that email since I'm starting to watch it now, correct? Or is
Yeah,
it just
and I'm almost done with the service unit part, and I can always back up and show you the troop part as well.
I would greatly appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. I was planning on staying on for a while because I know I have people that will log in at different times, and some people with very limited periods that they can log in. So I was going to go through it all, and then I can back up and go through it again. So
I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. And some of this is even the same too, so you'll just get to see both sides of it. So again, under the My Service Unit tasks, you'll be able to set tasks to your troops, to your girls, or to yourself as well. And make sure you set, your priorities. Some you'll see come down from me, and others you can add. This is also where you can send emails to your service unit users or to your troop users. So if you have multiple people in your service unit that are online, you can send them an email or just do it that way. And then the last one is messages. And again, this is what you'll see on the front screen. So this is what your troops will also see. The other items, again, will have more detailed trainings on them. I'm trying to think if there was something else that I wanted to cover on the service unit side. The service units, again, will have access to archived reports as well. So you can see what was done last year as well as what you've got going for this year. So you can pull up your troop reports. Let's see, go to your troop on hand inventory, your orders, all of those reports you'll have access to. And I think that is all that I had. The schedule booths and the troop reservations, we will have a separate training on all of those because again, I want to wait until I have some booths in the system before I see what that service unit side is going to be. But most likely for you guys, it'll just be viewing them. It'll be my booth coordinators that will handle that set. You will also have that mimic feature. If you go to mimic user, it will show you all of your users who are below you, what with their access, or let me try that again. Anybody who's below you, so all of your troop and girl users, it will have that information here, which actually now I'm scratching my head because it should show me. So if for some reason you're not showing anything here, please let me know because you are supposed to have access to mimic a user. And I want to make sure that that is going correctly. But that is, like I said, really great for if you've got somebody that's struggling with a section or with something, you can go in, see exactly what they're seeing and walk them through step by step. So for those who have that service unit side, you guys have any questions? All right. Well, if you don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and jump back over to the troop side as well. And run through that again. You're welcome to stay on if you want to watch it again, or if you have a question. I'll be on for a little while longer for anyone who does log in late. So thank you guys so much for being here. So our troop dashboard. This is going to be where you'll be able to see everything that's going on with your troop for the year. Whenever you log in, it's important to, if you go up here where it says last updated, click on that refresh icon, and it's going to give you the most current information. This way, if you have somebody that's been in the system at the same time you are, that's maybe updated their goals or made sales, you'll be able to get the most current view. From here, you'll see your troop achievement. This is the progress of your troop as a whole. And you can also set your troop goal. It will default to 0. So whatever your troop has decided their goal is going to be, you would type that in there. So let's say they want to do 500. Update, and you can update this as often as you want throughout the course of the program. So if they reach that 500 and they say, hey, let's make it 1,000, you can update it from there. And this way the girls are able to track their troops goals compared to their individual goals. It will also show you your breakdown of your troop as a whole. So if you participated last year, if your troop number was the same number as last year, you will show what your sales were last year compared to this year. The one item I do want you to keep an eye on is your total on-hand inventory. When you click on details, it'll show you what cookies you have. Please remember that because there is a difference between the base 8 cookies and the gluten-free, when you're doing your transfers, you do need to make sure that you're doing the correct transfers because of that dollar difference. But this will show you what you have, your troop should have on hand at any given time. If you are showing more than what you have, then you haven't done, you're missing a transfer. Same goes if you're showing less than what you have a transfer or something missing in the system.
Okay, so our troop isn't actually doing troop cookies. All the girls are just ordering their own and we're going from there. So this should never show inventory for us, correct?
Well, so not entirely, because you have to transfer them to the individual girls. So
okay,
when you pick up from council, it will be picked up as a troop order. Then you have to transfer them to the girls. So if you're not going to be carrying any on hand, then when you're done with those transfers, then yes, it should show a 0. That way should be a real easy way to tell if you're missing a transfer or something.
Awesome, thank you.
And there will be a training a little bit later that will go over exactly how to do the different types of transfers. There's a lot with this system, so I didn't want to do too much. This is just going to be that overview. And then this is where
I have a question. This is Tatum Rowe.
Absolutely, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just logged in and I'm on my phone because I'm at work, so
no worries.
I'm really trying to get this. When will we have access to log on? For our troop.
So depending on your sorry, Tatum, who's your service unit coordinator? Or what service?
I do believe it's Chaos. I'm Odessa.
You're Aaron. Okay. I haven't gotten the list of names just yet from her, but you should. I'm going to reach out to her today. You should be receiving your access by the end of the weekend. I'm getting you guys updated as I'm getting that information from the service unit chairs.
Okay.
All right.
All right. That was my question.
Yep,
it hasn't changed much from the last few years, right?
Correct. Very little. The biggest change is going to be credit cards, and I'm going to have a whole nother training on that in January because I'm still working on the setup for that. That's the biggest change. There's a lot of people that didn't know some of the aspects of the system, but if you are very familiar with the system, there really isn't a whole lot that's changed.
Okay. Yeah.
So, all right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So under your important dates is going to be a calendar. A lot of these dates I've already uploaded. Some of them your service unit might upload to include where'd it go? I don't, oh, there it is. I looked right past it. So the training that I have on Monday, that's going to cover how to actually place your initial order for those who aren't familiar with it or just want that refresh. The training link is right here. Right now, I only have my December training links ready, but by the end of the month, I will have the remaining just-in-time training links on here as well. So you'll be able to access them through ABC, as well as reaching out to info or your service unit chair. These messages will pop up throughout the course of the program from myself as well as your service unit chair, and we'll cover anything from, hey, don't forget to register for the upcoming training, to making sure you submit your initial orders. This is going to be your comparative stat-wise. Did somebody have a question?
I'll get back to it.
Okay. This will be your comparative of this year versus last year on your sales. And then your financial summary, well, you have all of that right there on the front screen. So everything from your total sales, what the troop will be receiving at the end of the program, the portion that is owed to council, any payments that have been made to council will also show up, and then what you still owe. And this way you can kind of keep an eye on all of those numbers. As we get the girls uploaded into the system, you'll also be able to track their sales through different means, what cookies they've sold, as well as their financial responsibility. And this way you can confirm if you have transactions missing, if you have a parent that's saying, hey, what's my balance? It's right here. You don't have to pull up any extra report. You can just go to your financial summary, find the girl, and say, you still owe this amount.
Will the girl be able to do that on her side?
They should also be able to see that as well. It's just one other way to be able to view it.
Awesome.
And there will be a parent dashboard on Sunday the 19th, the day the program starts. There will be a just-in-time training for the parent dashboard so that they can see that their side as well. All right. Now scrolling back up to the top, as I mentioned earlier, there's also a mimic feature. I'm hoping the reason that I'm not showing anything here is because I actually don't have a user account associated with my test girl. If for some reason you log in after the girls have been uploaded and the parents have been given access, if you're not seeing any information here, please let me know so that I can go in and find out what's going on. The mimic feature is a really, really nice way of helping out your parents if they're struggling on with the site. If they're not understanding how to see their financial summary, if they're not understanding how to check the rewards or anything like that, you can basically go in and see the system from their point of view. So you can walk them through step by step. All of my volunteers are supposed to have access to that feature. If you don't, for some reason, please let me know so that I can investigate as to why. The next section I do want you to go into is the My Troop section. The goals on online activity is just that overview of your troop. When your troop places sets their goal, and that goal is because they want to go to San Antonio or they want to help the local shelter, whatever it is that they've decided is going to be their goal, you can put in here and update it. You can also set messages to the girls from here, as well as individual girls, cheer them on as they reach their goals, pep them up if they're struggling, any of that kind of thing. Also, under your troop roster, you will not be adding any girls to the system. You will also not be deleting any girls to the system. Council will do all of that. So it's very important to make sure all of your BTK information is correct before January 9th. From January 9th until January 17th, then it will be visible in ABC, and you'll need to make sure it's correct there. Now, if there's an error, for example, like with my Juliet Low here, I don't have parent information because I only had the girls' information. You can go in and edit the information here. Or if the email was incorrect or missing, you'd be able to go in and update it and edit. You're welcome, Edith. You'll be able to update it, but you cannot add or delete. And then just a reminder, once the program begins, no girls can change troops. They can only be added if they're new to Girl Scouts or new to our council. So from the 9th to the 17th, it's very important that you make sure your rosters are accurate before the emails go out to the parents. Your troop information will be here. Really, the only thing you'll need to change is if your level is incorrect, you can update it. You'll be able to verify what your recognition plan is. If you are participating in the opt-out plan, this won't be changed until after the forms have been received in March. You'll also need to go in and update your banking information. Even though you've submitted an ACH form, please make sure you put your information in here. This helps to provide us a double check that we have the correct information. You're welcome, Michelle. Have a good one.
The ACH form, have we received that yet?
Did you participate in Fall Product?
We did.
So if you participated in Fall Product and submitted a form and nothing has changed, then you're good to go.
All right, thank you.
So you just need to go in here and put that information in to make sure that we have that, make sure all that and those numbers match up. So, and then this is also where you can verify that your information is correct, as well as any alternate users that you may have. So going down to your troop messages.
How many alternate users do we have? There's me and there's 2 other ladies. Is that going to be?
You will probably, I think I can add them both, but you'll need to make sure to send me that information because I know the system initially will allow 2 users.
Okay.
But I believe I can add a 3rd user, but you'll need to send me that information once they've been verified.
Thank you, ma'am.
So troop messages, again, very similar to the service unit side, but this is where you can set up messages that will go to the Girl Scouts main pages. So for example, here I have start date. So this will show up on their main page as a reminder that the start date is going to be, or what that date is, because I have it in my notes. If you want to remind them of booths that are coming up or any of that kind of thing, this is a great spot to be able to do that. You can also set your tasks. Again, you can do this for booths or money due dates, anything like that, and this will show up in their calendar. Set your priority level. Is it girl troop, what have you. You can even tie it to something like your recognition order. For example, if you have girls with that need to make choices and you haven't heard back from the parents, you can make a task for them to let you know what their choices are going to be. And then finally, your important dates. These are all uploaded by council. I do want to apologize. ABC was not cooperating with me. And so some of my just-in-time trainings are showing for 2 days. They're only supposed to be for 1 day. Some of them are correct and others are not. So that is a current fight with the system to correct those. So please disregard the fact that it spans 2 days. The other items up here, we will go over in more detail in my other trainings. We've got our orders tab, which is where you're going to be doing everything from initial orders, planned orders, transfers, everything will be done. You'll spend a lot of time in this tab. Your booth tab will also have the information on your booths as they are being uploaded into the system. You will not be able to make any selections until January 20th, which is the first day for picks, and you'll have a limited number. You can select, you can search by date, time, zip code, any of that. any booths that I have marked as premium will be listed with a P. And again, I'll have more information on booth picks in January.
What does premium mean? 'Cause this is-
Premium, so premium is going to be, last year it was everything Walmart related was listed as a premium. This year I have not decided what the premiums are going to be because that will be determined on a location by location basis. But those are going to be like your high profile, high traffic booths that everybody wants. So that way we don't have one troop that is hogging all of those booths, so to speak. We'll have some listed as premium, and you'll only be able to choose like one premium per day for that first week.
Okay.
And then after everybody's had the opportunity to get in and make their choices, then it'll open up and you can choose whatever you want from there. But
The Mommy and Me boost. When do we know when?
so
How do those work?
So the Mommy and Me and all all booths have to be reserved through the troop, including the Mommy and Me. And you would reserve it just like any troop booth.
Okay.
Because some troops will only do Mommy and Me's, some won't do them at all. And it's going to depend. I mean, it's really going to depend on your area and your troop. But you have to reserve all booths through here, and then give that information to the parent.
Is this only available to the troop leader and the person that they designate? Okay, so all reservations have to go through us.
Correct. Your rewards you won't have to do anything with until March, and then you'll be able to create your order, update it, and submit it from there. Your finance tab is going to be another spot you'll spend a lot of time in. You won't be adding any of the troop financials or transactions because those will be uploaded by council. That will be things like your ACHs, or if there were any credit card payments that were made online or what have you, those will show up here. Your girl transaction is going to be where you'll spend all that time putting in the girl information. And again, I'll have a training just on those transactions. Finally, your report section. If your troop participated last year, you'll have access to last year's reports by going to Archived and clicking last year's date. This is really helpful if you want to know what your troop did for its troop initial order last year. You click on your Go to Report. When you view report, it will pull up. In this case, this troop didn't have an initial order, but it did have a total sales. You can go to your report, view report, and then you can pull up whatever information is associated with that troop from the previous year.
Is that
I'm
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Information on individual girls or just a total troop?
You can actually break it down by girl as well. So I recommend going through and marking some, let me go to current year. I recommend going through and marking some of your reports as favorites to include your troop on hand inventory right here, your girl balance summary, and your troop balance summary. I recommend setting those to favorites because those are going to be some of your most popular ones. Okay. And then, but yeah, so those, and I've got actually 2 trainings dedicated to reports because that is the reports are a very key feature of the program. And then the resources tab. So the cookies tab will give you additional information on all of the cookies available. Tips and tools, great section, especially for newcomers for various things before, during, and after the sale. Your resources tab is where you'll find additional trainings. A lot of my trainings are based off of ABC trainings, as well as some of my clip art that you'll find in the guides. I've actually pulled directly from ABC. So if you're still struggling with something, you feel free to take a look through their training resources for additional information. The digital art and printables will also be all sorts of fun stuff that you can pull for your troop for your girls. The girls can also start accessing the resources section now without a login. If you go to abcsmartcookies.com and click on resources, they can access all of this right now. That was one of the big changes this year. Digital art will show everything, all the Fox related materials. You can also view their YouTube and Flickr channels for information on the thanks a lots that are going away and all of that as well. So that is all that I have for the troop side. I know I have a couple people that logged in a little bit late, so I can go back through some of it. But do you have any other questions?
I have no more questions, but you said this will be put back up here just in case it needs to be viewed again, right?
Yes, so I'm going to be sending the link over to Ileana today. It takes a little while for it to load up on my computer after I end it, but I'll send it over to Ileana. Hopefully she can get it up onto the website before the end of the weekend, but at the latest by Monday, it should be up on our council website.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate your help.
Absolutely, of course. All right. So, and I said, as I said, I'm going to stay on for a little bit longer. I know I had a couple people that hopped in late as well. So if you have any questions or want to review anything, just let me know.
I don't have any questions. Our coordinator for Odessa is Sarah Jackson, so I guess she'll have this information too.
Yes. And I actually just emailed her some additional stuff too. But yes, she will have your guys' training too.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right. Well, you guys have a good weekend.
Bye.